As the weather continues to be so cold here in New York, bread making has become nothing but a joy. I continue to make my sourdough bread. My starter, Raya, is doing just beautifully. The slow movement of bread making keeps me calm, keeps me centered. Taking the lid off and putting it back in the oven to cook just a bit longer and brown. The finished product is so rewarding. I know exactly what went into this bread, how delicious it is, and how truly economical. Welcome, sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy. My husband's Paul. We're so happy you have joined us today. Today's video, we're going to be talking about 12 things and experiences that we have spent money on in the past that now we kind of look back and say, why did we do that? And these things we probably would never buy or do again. So we just hope this video is helpful in making you stop and think. Maybe if you're thinking about buying some of these items, and we'll give you real life examples of what we do now instead of what we used to do. So we hope this proves really helpful. We're also going to get into the kitchen and create a one-pot, cozy, comfy meal that you can do right on the stove with items you probably have in your home. A winner all the way around, and you know it was Paul approved. So sit back, relax, and let's get right to this video. The first one is buying an item because it was a designer name. And in a minute, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But what we have learned, and we won't do again, is to buy an item because it is a status symbol. I'm going to show you a purse and a wallet Paul bought me, goodness, quite a while ago. I still have it. I had picked it out, and once he gave it to me, I think it was a Christmas present or a birthday present years ago. I think I used it maybe once or twice. Now, I held on to it. It is a good bag. It's leather, but I'm going to tell you right now, I bought it because of the name, and I don't want to disparage any names, but you'll see in a minute. I would never do that again. I would never buy something just because of the label. Right after I show you the first bag, I'm going to show you what I do now instead with the second bag. Here's the bag. It is lovely to look at. There was nothing wrong with it. But honestly, I didn't like the way it felt. It was super stiff to me. The wallet was stiff. All in all, I just didn't like it. So what do I do instead? I now pick up these adorable little bags. They're exactly what I want. I pay a couple of dollars for them at thrift sales and tag sales. Number 2 is new release books. I have done this in the past. Again, this was years ago. But my favorite author would come out with a book, or maybe it was a brand new cookbook that people had been talking about. You had to get it. I love to read. I love books. But I will not pay upwards of $25 for a book that if I put on reserve at the library can look at for free. Or if it's a book that I know I want to keep in my library here at home, and I do not have a very big library at home. I would wait to find it used and in very good condition and probably pay less than a quarter of the price that a new release book would cost me. That is something we have done in the past, and I'll tell you right now, I will never do that again. Now, number 3, I'm going to turn over to Paul.
Okay, I had a project a few years ago where I wanted to redeck our outside patio deck, which is wooden boards. And I needed a driver that I could use to screw the deck boards together. So I bought a rechargeable drill. I found one from a brand name company that, used to have good products, and I figured it was a good deal. Purchased it. Guess what? The battery died. So to replace the battery that died on this device, it was almost 75% of the cost of the entire kit. It was ridiculous. It was like $85 for a new battery. So, it just didn't work. Now, it's good for around the house if I'm hanging a picture or, got to drill a little hole here or there, but not for an all-day event. I should have went out and bought a quality tool. That's something I'm never going to buy again, is a cordless drill.
Number 4, buying flowers from a florist directly. Now, I know we support small businesses and I understand that, but I have to say honestly, places like Trader Joe's and even your local grocery store have beautiful, fresh flowers at a quarter of a price of what you would pay at a full-blown florist. I'm going to insert a picture right here. The one bouquet are tulips and eucalyptus. My niece gave them to me for my birthday. Absolutely stunning. Trader Joe's. To the other side is a bouquet Paul gave me from Stop and Shop. Both of these lasted, were stunning. I couldn't have asked for more. So when it comes to buying flowers, check out your local Trader Joe's or your local food store. Number 5, something we used to do that was a total waste of money. We used to dine out at expensive restaurants. I'm talking high price, small portions. Why? Because they were the in place to go, or they supposedly had wonderful food, but it was not worth what we were paying for it. So you would come out of a restaurant like that, scratching your head saying, that was so not worth it. Now it has gotten so bad with us that we don't even like to eat out anywhere. You can make a better meal at home, or maybe a little mom and pop restaurant, diner. That's where the good food is. That's where the great prices are. It doesn't have to be fancy to be good. Number 6. After we ditched cable, there were so many streaming services available that we got caught up in the Disney Plus is offering this price and Hulu is offering this price and Netflix and Amazon Prime. We actually were like, what are we doing? This is not worth the money. All these channels that you pay for, the movies they are showing, you can get completely free. You don't need multiple subscriptions. How can you get the free movies? Well, if you have a Roku player, Roku channel has hundreds of TV shows that are completely free. Just search free movies on your Roku or Fire Stick player, and you will get hundreds of movies, hundreds of sitcoms, hundreds of talk shows, cooking shows. It is amazing what's for free. So just because you ditch cable, don't get caught up in the mindset, I need every streaming channel that's out there so I can watch them all.
Another thing you want to look out for is extended warranties. When you buy something and they offer you a extended warranty for a price, you got to read the fine print, because a lot of times the extended warranty is not through the manufacturer, but a third-party person. So you want to make sure you read all the fine print. I'm going to tell you what happened. I bought a new car at the dealer, and they said, did you want a tire and rim warranty? I said, gee, tire and rim warranty? That sounds like a great deal. How much is it? Wasn't very much, but I didn't read the fine print. I thought the dealer was giving me this warranty. It wasn't. It was a third-party person. To get the warranty on the tire or a broken rim from a pothole, I would have to show them proof that I rotated the tires every 3,000 miles. I had to show proof that I kept the tire pressure at the exact pressure they wanted, and I would have to mail the tire and or rim back to this warranty company who, I don't even know where they are, but I'd have to mail a tire. Could you imagine bringing that into the post office? So it just turned out to be a waste of money. I spent money on something that I could never, ever possibly use. Check your credit cards. When you buy something with a credit card, your credit card might even give you an additional year warranty on everything that you're purchasing, from a TV to an appliance. And check your manufacturer's warranty. A lot of times that covers you more than enough. Just keep an eye on these extended warranties and these third-party replacement programs. People want to sell you everything.
Number 7, you know I'm going to say it, a treadmill. We bought a used treadmill. This was years ago again. Set it up in our home. I think I used it probably a week. Not that I didn't want to be active, not that I didn't want to get healthy and do what's right. I hated walking indoors. I love to walk. Paul and I get outside when weather permitting, and we walk our local bike trail. It's scenic, it's beautiful. I've shown you footage of that as we walk. It's perfect. That treadmill took up half of a room upstairs for many, many months. I would never do that again. I know now I am not an indoor exercise kind of person. We ended up giving it away to someone, which was a blessing, but that was a total waste of money for us. Number 8, something I used to do was buy expensive makeup. I used to love a certain brand that began with a C, and you could only buy it in department stores way back when, and it always came with wonderful free samples, little pouches that were so cute. One day I woke up and I realized how much I was paying for that makeup. There has got to be a cheaper way to do this. Still get quality products, but not pay those hefty prices. And I'm going to show you some of the products I switched over to. Now, if you have sensitive skin, you have allergies, and you have to use a certain product, then of course, by all means. But again, I was doing it because, well, everybody else was using this brand as well. I'll tell you right now, CVS is my best friend when it comes to buying makeup. So let me just show you a few items I use now that I think are quality product for a quarter of the amount of money I used to pay. These are just some simple drugstore products that I use. I love the Aveeno Positively Radiant. It works wonderfully. It's got an SPF. It even smells really good. Just a wonderful product. I have very curly hair, and there are a lot of things out there on that market. I love John Frizzy's products. They're a little bit more expensive, but I do have very curly hair, and if I don't keep a good product in it, it'll be all over the place. One of the best hairsprays I have ever found at literally $5 a bottle, if not below that, is the Suave Max Hold. Works so great. Again, you should see my hair in the rain if I don't give it a light coating of a little hairspray. I love my CoverGirl Lash Blast Mascara. It works well. What I love is it washes off with soap and water. And to cover up those dark spots as I get older, CoverGirl and Olay Simply Ageless. Another great drugstore product. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. Number 9, small appliances that we bought and never used. One was a gift from our son. It was an electric fondue pot. I was so into fondue at one point. I can't tell you the last time I used this. I was like, oh, instead of making it on the stove in a pan, they have this electric fondue maker. I don't think we used it twice. Be cautious about those small appliances that are going to revolutionize your world. Think about if it's something that you're going to use on a regular basis, like our air fryer. We love our air fryer. We love our toaster. Paul loves his coffee maker. Things like that we use all the time. But these specialty ones, like the electric fondue pot, can cost you money, and it's something that you would never buy again or really shouldn't have bought in the first place. Number 10. This is something that we thought again would really help us around the house, and it didn't. I don't want to say brand names, but it is a wet jet mop. That's what I'll say. We used it for a little while. It streaked the floors terribly. The batteries ended up leaking in the thing. It was a nightmare. We tossed it. We would never buy it again. We stick to good old-fashioned warm sudsy water with a little vinegar maybe, and just mop our floors like normal. It was a total fail. We went back to the old-fashioned ways of washing our floors. Number 11, our DVDs. This is something I have to still be careful of today. We barely watch DVDs anymore because of all the free streaming movies that you get on TV now through the internet. Just take a peek. We still have quite a collection of DVDs, and we watch them honestly less and less. So I have to be careful if we do see a favorite movie in the thrift store that we don't pick it up and bring it home anymore. Number 12, paying full price to see a movie in a theater. Movie tickets are upwards of about $20 here in New York. We used to do it way back in the day. I would never do it now. Total waste of money, not worth it to us. We do go to see an occasional $5 movie on a Tuesday night in our area, but to put out $40 for Paul and I to see a movie on a Saturday night, to us, not worth it. It's not an option. That's not something we would spend money on. So we hope these 12 ideas just get your wheels rolling. Maybe make you hesitate, stop and think before you make that next purchase. Is it something you need? Is it something you're going to use for a long period of time? Are you buying it just because it's a status symbol? Are you buying it because somebody else is telling you it's a good deal? So we need to just stop and think before we take our hard-earned money and hand it over to someone else. Today, what we're going to do is get into the kitchen and make a wonderful creamy chicken noodle soup using chicken that Paul went out in 20-degree weather yesterday and barbecued. Here in New York, when we say barbecue, we mean grill. Like to go outside, get the gas grill going and cooking our food outside on a grill. I had a whole chicken in the freezer. He cooked it up. It was delicious. And now we're taking some leftovers and turning it into a hearty one-pot economical meal. So let's turn this camera around, get into the kitchen. We are going to take some of that chicken that Paul grilled outside yesterday in that 20-degree weather and make a delicious, comforting, creamy chicken noodle soup. So all we're going to need is 1 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of flour. We're going to need 8 cups of chicken stock. There's only 4 cups here because I only have 1 measuring cup. So I'm going to put this in and then another quart as well. So 8 cups of chicken stock. You're going to need about 2 to 3 cups of egg noodles or some kind of small pasta, about 1 cup of diced potatoes, about 1 cup of carrots, 1 cup of celery. We're going to dice up 1/2 of onion, 2 cloves of garlic, and then about 2 cups of cut up cooked chicken. We're using 2 small pieces of breast here, and you're going to season it however you like, but I'm going to be using some rosemary, some peppercorn, and Italian herb seasoning. First thing we're going to do is clean and chop the veggies into bite-sized pieces. We have our celery, onion, and carrot chopped up, and I have 2 cloves of garlic I'm going to mince in as well. I melted a tablespoon of butter in the pot, and now I am just adding all those vegetables. I'm going to give those a turn, coat those beautiful vegetables with that tablespoon of butter, And I'm also going to crush the 2 cloves of garlic right into this as well. And we're going to let this cook for about 5 minutes. I sauteed this for 5 minutes over medium heat while stirring. Now I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of flour. And I'm going to add all the seasonings. The Italian seasoning blend. I'm taking the rosemary and I'm just crushing it between my hands to release some of the flavor. And some freshly ground black pepper. Now we're going to lower it and cook it on low for about 2 minutes, stirring pretty much all the time. We don't want it to burn. Okay, so we cook that flour, which is what we wanted to do. Now carefully, we're going to add our 8 cups of chicken stock. You're going to gently stir this, and you're going to deglaze the pan as you're gently stirring on the bottom. Now carefully, we're going to add our cut up potato that we diced. And this is over medium heat. We're going to bring this to a boil and let it boil for 3 minutes. This boiled for 3 minutes. Now I am going to lower it to medium-low heat, and I am going to partially cover it. And we're going to let it cook for 20 minutes. Giving it a stir every once in a while. So now what we want to do is just simmer it. This simmered for 20 minutes. We're going to add our chicken now. We're going to add our 1 cup of milk, or you could use half and half if you want it a little creamier. We're going to give this a stir. Oh, the whole house smells so good. And we're adding about 2 cups of egg noodles. I'm going to give this a mix. I'm going to put it back up to medium. And we're going to let this cook for another 10 minutes to make sure those noodles are tender. This just cooked about 12 more minutes. The noodles are tender. This is more like a chicken and noodle stew. But there is still so much broth. This smells so good. I am going to dish this out and we'll let you know how it tastes. Now I am going to take just a little bit of Parmesan cheese, put that on top. That soup was so good. Our son had a big bowl of it, and then he asked me today, is there any left? And I brought him some for work today. That's how much he loved it. Was it Paul approved?
It was definitely Paul approved. I'm not a big soup eater,
Yeah, not at all.
but this ate almost as a stew.
Yeah.
It was just hearty, warm, it was delicious, and it was easy to make.
It was really good. The hardest part was chopping veggies, I think, because everything came together in one pot. Really good stuff. So I will link the original recipe down below. As you know, I tweak it. Today's question of the day: what is something that you spent money on that you look back now and say, wow, was that a total waste of my money? And it's something you wouldn't do again. Please share that with us down below in the comments section, because that will not only encourage us, but our viewers as well. We thank you so much for spending this time with us. We ask that you please give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Come on in and be part of our frugal family. We ask you to be well. We ask you to be safe. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, may God greatly bless you.